Okay, previously we looked at creating a collision mesh, a simple one, on a complex mesh. So what I'm going to do is just make the collision mesh visible here again. So we made that collision mesh. Now as you can see, it's kind of big. It's not very conforming. So you might want to refine that and take this one step further. So I'm just going to delete that mesh now. Okay, so let's try making a cone with 3 segments. I do believe that actually works. So yeah, okay, here we go. Cone with 3 segments. You can almost immediately see how this is going to work. We need to rotate it. So we need one of our views here, front view, and we're going to wireframe the cone. Now we also need to rotate this cone, and I'm not sure. Something you guys may not know is the closer you get to something, the smaller the rotate increment is. And we want this to be pretty darn close to perfect. So there we go. So we now have a cone. It's a little bit too big, but it's pretty close to a profile of this ship. So what we want to do now is leave mouse editing mode. Again, that's spacebar. And the reason for that is we're going to try some non-uniform scale. Let's fix that mesh. The one thing you must always bake before you change modes is scale. It's one of the things that P3D does not have a lot of patience for. Okay, you can see we're not getting a whole lot of the wings covered in that. That's okay. Let's try this again. That's pretty close, but we have a good chunk of those wings sticking out. What we want to do is, up next we want to make a copy of this cone. So we're going to copy ent, and yes, we want a true mesh copy because we're going to actually be playing with the cone that's in it. So we want to rotate Y 180, and we're going to bake that. Now my reason for doing that is I want the origin of the this cone to actually be at 0 in the scene. It's going to make scaling it a little easier. We're in, the mouse selection is off right now, so that's not going to be a biggie. It allows for non-uniform scaling. Fix that mesh. Yep. Go to this cone here. And these 2 triangles. Now, right now P3D doesn't have a way to remove the hidden or internal faces. That's coming, and so will welding. But right now this is all we're going to have. And I'm going to be editing out chunks. So again, what I did was make 2 cones very quickly, and I think to make them a little more visible, I'm going to set them full bright. so it's easier for you guys to see. So okay, so I made 2 cones and I set them to 3 segments. So again, that would be cone and 3 segments. And then I flipped one around and then I fixed their origin to the middle, or the base that I needed, and approximating the shape of the ship. So that's a pretty good approximation. So this is a very, 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 very small collision mesh approximation of the ship. That's another way of doing it. I'm just going to spin it around. As you can see, it's pretty close. There are some things that stick out, but you know, that might be good enough for some of you guys out there. You might not want to register shots out on the weapons, or you might want to put the weapons separately, which can be done. Just simply putting a box. And I think what we can do right now is we could show that.